The most expensive liquids in the world. The markup for a bottle of water at the movies or in concert venues might seem expensive, but it's nowhere close to the liquids we're going to be talking about in today's video. And no, it's not all old, pricey scotches and artisanal wines. Some of them may actually surprise you, so stick around till the end. Welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Without further ado, let's take a look at 10 of the most expensive liquids in the world. Number 10. Human blood. $1,500 per gallon. Actually acquiring human blood isn't such a difficult task considering we all have gallons of it and even give it away for free. But looking at the hidden costs to provide this life-saving product to people of all ages, you might understand why it has to be so expensive. The most important thing, of course, is to ensure the safety of the blood. The salaries and benefits for the people working here is the highest expense borne by these centers. About 60% of their annual budget is consumed by labor alone. Employees often work around the clock, ensuring that the right kind of blood and related products are ready when needed, because this is one place you just can't make a mistake. The remaining 40% of the budget is spent on everything from supplies like plastic bags, Band-Aids, and hygiene equipment, to overhead costs like building and equipment maintenance and utilities. Number 9. Gamma-hydroxybutyric acid. $2,500 per gallon. Or just GHB for short, but you might know it by another name, liquid ecstasy. GHB is a naturally occurring neurotransmitter and psychoactive drug. It is mostly used to treat depression, narcolepsy, alcoholism, and insomnia, and even used commonly as an anesthetic in medicine. Some of it is also found in the human central nervous system. The drug is also sometimes illegally used as a performance enhancer, intoxicant, and as a recreational drug. It's produced illegally in laboratories and distributed by local operators, but it's also sometimes produced as a result of fermentation. You can find small quantities of it in some beers and wines, especially in fruit wines. The amount in alcohol, though, is practically insignificant and is definitely not enough to produce psychoactive effects. A slightly higher dosage produces nausea, and at high doses, it results in unconsciousness, seizures, slowed heart rate and breathing, lower body temperature, vomiting, and could even put you in a coma. Number 8. Black printer ink. $2,700 per gallon. That's right, a gallon of printer ink is worth more than human blood. It's probably annoyed you more than once that the cost of ink is so much more than the cost of the actual printer. No matter the brand, the ink cartridges are always much more expensive. It has nothing to do with the makeup of the liquid, it's just good business. Printers are often cheap because they're sold either at cost or even at a loss, so the company makes no profit from the purchase. The way they make their money back is through printer cartridges, which you have to buy on an ongoing basis. Even if the company does make a bit of money from each printer sold, it makes a much larger profit on ink. It's like the razor model. They sell you a cheap razor, but mark up the blades because you'll have to buy those on a regular basis. Many printer manufacturers even go out of their way to make it difficult to use unofficial ink cartridges by building microchips into their official ink cartridges. If you use an unofficial cartridge or refill their cartridges with a different ink, the printer will refuse to print. It's definitely sneaky. Maybe you should switch to paperless. Better for the environment and your wallet. And if you think that's an insane amount, you definitely want to stick around for number 1. Number 7. Mercury. $3,400 per gallon. You might think mercury is widely used for thermometers, barometers, and other medical equipment, but it's actually used more for its toxicity. It is the only liquid metal that stays liquid at room temperature, and it is used to conduct electricity. In vapor form, mercury is used in streetlights and fluorescent bulbs. Due to its wide use, one might think it's not that expensive, and compared to most other items on this list, it isn't, but acquiring it is a pricey operation. It's a very rare element in the Earth's crust, and it's mainly found in the mineral cinnabar. Removing mercury from cinnabar involves melting the ore and running electricity into it. These are relatively expensive, but the safety equipment is much more so. It also goes through a distillation process 3 times, so that hikes up the price too. Number 6. Chanel No. 5. $26,000 a gallon. Chanel No. 5 is one of the most popular fragrances in the world, so no wonder it clocks in at $26,000 a gallon. It was produced in 1922 by chemist Ernest Beau in collaboration with Coco Chanel. The story goes that Ernest provided a collection of vials as samples, and Coco Chanel chose the fifth because of her love for the number 5. But why is a perfume so expensive? Well, it's made from ingredients that are hard to harvest. For example, civet. Civet is a secretion from the gland of the civet cat. It's usually harvested in quite an inhumane way, with only a few drops from each cat. Now, thankfully, Chanel uses synthesized civet that smells just like the real thing, but even synthesizing it costs a lot. Even when the ingredients are harvested in humane ways from plants, it's still very hard to get what you need for designer perfume out of those materials. One of the ingredients used in Chanel No. 5 is rose oil. It takes 100 pounds of rose petals to produce just 1 ounce of rose oil. Ouch! That means to make a few small bottles of perfume, you need to use tons and tons of roses. And of course, there's just the matter of the brand name. Coco Chanel is a prestigious high-fashion brand, so you're not just paying for the liquid, you're paying for the name. Number 5. Horseshoe crab blood, $60,000 per gallon. Fun fact, horseshoe crabs have blue blood. They use hemocyanin to carry oxygen through their blood, and because of the copper present in hemocyanin, the blood is blue. Their blood is used and harvested in high quantities to test the quality and levels of contamination of medical products. Because of this, there's a high demand for it, and harvesting it is no easy task. Some crabs don't even survive the process. Their blood is also currently being used to test the vaccines for coronavirus, since it can detect harmful bacteria. However, if it works out and we use more crabs to extract blood, it can severely impact our ecosystem. Number 4. Insulin, $80,000 a gallon, and counting. Insulin is a hormone which is naturally produced by healthy pancreas. It helps balance your blood sugar levels, so you know it's pretty important. When there's too much glucose in your system, insulin signals the body to store the excess in the liver, and this doesn't get released until there's a lack of glucose in your system, like between meals. When you're diabetic, your liver cannot produce insulin, and needless to say, that's not a good thing. Injecting insulin into your body, though, helps as a replacement or supplement, which makes this practically life-saving. To produce a biosynthetic form, it's extremely expensive, hence the price, which continues to climb as the years go by. A more workable way to produce insulin is reportedly in development, which might involve introducing the human gene into plants to then produce it themselves. Number 3. Lysergic acid diethylamide, $123,000 per gallon. Or you might know it from the hallucinogenic drug LSD, which is the crystallized form of this acid. It was used widely in the 1960s because of its hallucinogenic properties, something made possible because the drug alters the serotonin system. Just 1 gallon of this stuff can provide hallucinogens for approximately 55,000 people. Just about 20 micrograms can produce a noticeable effect. The reason this is so expensive is because it's made from ergotamine tartare, a substance found in lysergic acid found in a flowering plant called morning glory. Manufacturing LSD from morning glory seeds is not economically feasible, and ergotamine tartare is not readily available in the U.S. either, as it's a highly controlled substance. The ones made in U.S. labs most likely come from Europe, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Africa, and that certainly doesn't come cheap. Number 2. King Cobra Venom, $153,000 per gallon. Their venom isn't the most potent of all venomous snakes we know, but the amount of neurotoxins they deliver in a single bite is capable of killing 20 people, or a fully grown elephant. Their venom affects the respiratory centers in the brain, causing respiratory arrest and cardiac failure. It's one of the fastest-acting venoms ever known, and it cripples the nervous system. These toxins then block the chemical neurotransmitters that communicate with the muscle and control its contractions, which paralyzes the victim. What would we want with such a substance? Well, the venom also contains a unique protein called ohanin, which is non-toxic up to 10 milligrams per kilo. Ohanin can be used in the form of a painkiller, which is said to be 20 times more potent than morphine. Before we take a look at number 1, go ahead and comment down below how much you think the most expensive liquid in the world comes up for a gallon. Go on, we'll wait. Done that? All right, let's look at number 1. Number 1. Scorpion venom, $39 million per gallon. Quite a jump from 153,000 to 39 million. Scorpions use their venom to kill prey, but only 25 species of scorpion have venom that would be lethal to humans. Scorpion venom contains a small protein chain called chlorotoxin, and it is perfectly shaped to block chloride channels and stop chloride ions from entering your muscle cells. Without these ions telling your cells to relax, all your muscles flex all at once and paralysis sets in. In the lab, scientists are trying to find a useful way of employing this advantage. They've managed to find a way to treat brain cancer using chlorotoxin by blocking signals from cancer cells impacting other healthy cells. Blocking these signals prevents it from growing. Scientists have also discovered ways in which the effect of paralysis can be helpful for humans. If you're going into surgery, for example, you'll need to stay very still so the doctor can operate on you. So, in addition to drugs that cause sleep, patients are often given drugs that cause temporary paralysis while the doctor performs the surgery. It's also found to treat pain stemming from multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. But why is it so expensive? Well, it's because the extraction process takes ages. Even with an efficient automated process, scorpions can only be milked of tiny quantities of their venom once every couple of weeks. Since they only give tiny amounts at a time, a scorpion would have to be milked about 2 million times to get a gallon. Well, that's it for 10 of the world's most expensive liquids. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and browse through other videos on our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.